Imagine if in the United States, all children grew up learning not one, but two different languages. Instead, what is going on right now in the education system is children are learning only one language until they get into high school. Here is where students are forced to take 2 years of a foreign language that many students won't even comprehend after a single year of being out of the class. For me personally, I was lucky to have retained the Spanish I learned in high school. This being said, I still wish I was able to speak more fluently or even have a conversation with another Spanish speaker without having to speak a single word of English. This would not only be useful in day-to-day interactions, but also a good tool for me to have in my future. There is a way to make this available to the children growing up in today's time. The education system needs to start applying the learning of a foreign language like Spanish or French in first grade. When human growth is at the fastest rate is when they should also be learning and soaking up as much information as they can. This would end up benefiting them in many aspects. First of all, it makes it easier for children to learn another language when they are younger and less developed. When a child learns a second language at a younger age, it makes learning faster and easier for them too. This entail makes learning more languages easier for them too. A second language is also very beneficial for a child's future because it opens up many different career paths and opportunities for them. It has been proven that children learn and develop at an accelerated rate when they are young. They are, quote, built to absorb information, according to the website made by Penn State. Unlike children, adults are unable to learn while unconsciously thinking about something. This makes learning a second language harder, and even just learning in general harder for adults. Another reason it is easier for kids to learn a second language is because they do not have as much confusing information to think about, such as like we think about what's going on in the world and what's so crazy about everything with COVID-19, and right now little kids don't think about anything. And so there was a study done on children who were told they were going to learn a second language. The study showed that bilinguals had mental flexibility and more mental abilities than the monolinguals. And this just proves how it is easier for kids to learn a second language. Learning a second language also gives you many opportunities in finding a career compared to someone who only knows one. With the world changing every day, the demand for more people who know more than one language is growing rapidly. This means that because there is a growing need for these people, the pay for the work is higher, and these people would also be able to demand a higher pay too. Knowing another language also gives a person the upper hand when he or she is going through the interview process. If there's a candidate with the same qualifications as someone else who knows another or more than one language, then that person would probably not be chosen because the other person knows another language. And so this would obviously benefit you. Some people would argue that learning a single language is hard enough for children, so why would we make it harder for them to learn or make it harder for them by learning a second language? This problem is being debunked and continuously looked at scientists who are finding new ways for kids to learn a second language. One of these ways is by letting children learn a second language while doing their favorite activities at a summer camp. This means they are able to have fun and learn another language without even thinking about it. So to finish this up, thank you for listening and have a good summer.